powder on the stomach.
All right, we're live from Tokyo, San
Yeah,
Francisco.
that'd be amazing. So yeah, it's been a while, guys, since
See
we
your
got together.
glasses.
It's always like that. I feel
Yeah.
like for like the longest time. That
Oh yeah, should we meet each other, or how does that work?
it showed up on like a backup thing. Not really sure what that is, so I'm not gonna worry too much about it. So yeah, this is the weekly word. We haven't really had anything like this in a while, just because Naruto ended. Actually, you know what? Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Victor. Hey.
Hi,
Victor,
nice to
you're
meet
an
you
elephant.
guys.
Yeah, so this is Victor. He's one of the guys that was behind the scenes for a really long time. And we
The
finally got
Mexican in the bush.
tape. But he's been a big part of Naruto FNFB. He's basically run the page for like the last like year or so.
He does way more than I've ever done. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
I think I posted like on the channel, and I was like, I'm done with this.
Yeah. So it's good to actually have Victor on. Reed couldn't make it tonight, and I think Matt was busy with
Matt things.
food and
I'll tell you this one thing about Matt. Matt's great, but like sometimes it's kind of like a cat where he'll just disappear at random intervals for random reasons.
Matt like does his own things. It's
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is cool. I mean, like he has a life. That's good for him, I guess.
cool.
not so good for the channel.
Yeah. So what are we meeting here for? We're going to talk about our lives and all the fucked up things we do in them, or
Yeah.
I mean,
think
that's basically the
back
general
4
thing.
weeks back. That was crazy.
yeah. I moved. I got a new apartment, so I'm no longer in a one-bedroom apartment, sharing a one-bedroom apartment with another person. That's over, thank God.
With
Now I'm in a house with.
who, Andy? Who are you with?
I'm with my girlfriend and your girlfriend, John, and it's blissful. It's so blissful.
Yeah,
Stop.
so me and Eddie should definitely have some more videos because I am there pretty much every day of the week. Besides this
Yeah,
today,
can we talk about how we're gonna split the utilities? We've never actually hammered that out.
are we gonna wait? We're gonna talk about how you guys are gonna split the utilities during the video.
Well, I mean, I
don't
don't
know.
know what you're gonna put up. That's all.
I don't know what the bills are. We have to see that. And I said I picked
Electric
like
cable.
internet. I don't need heat. I don't need water. I just need internet. So
Oh,
He has Daquan's mixtape.
Look how cool that is. I got a space heater, and I also have a sheet on my bed.
Daquan's mixtape is straight hot fire, yo.
Exactly. Warm up to it during the winter.
That's what I'm saying, yo. But yeah, we should have a lot of cool things happening this year. I'm excited. I think we have a lot of things in the work that should make the channel even more awesome. But let's talk about some stuff that's happened. First off, the new Dragon Ball Z movie that's coming out. I don't know if Andy's seen anything on it because I feel like you don't pay attention to cool stuff anymore.
I do things. I read
I
books.
mean, I posted some stuff on the page about it.
Yeah, no, I don't. I never actually go on the page. That'd be like that'd be like going back and reading your own shit, and like that's just so romantic and
Narcissistic.
narcissistic and pedantic. You can't do
They're
that.
like, wow, I'm fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
See
fucking
that
awesome.
article?
I have some great.
Likes.
Yeah, no, tell me about it. I saw the last movie, the last Dragon Ball Z movie coming out with like the rabbit god thing.
Yeah, Beerus. I think.
Yeah,
I
that
still
was awesome.
haven't watched that. I've been meaning to watch it for the longest time, and I just haven't gotten around to doing that. I've heard good things. I gotta do that. But the new one looks cool. What does everyone think about? Well, here's a immediate response type thing. What do you think about Frieza being like the resurrected villain?
It's
Again,
awful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Frieza's a villain. He's the
is
villain.
Frieza like a double robot now? Is it just like full on
Body,
Frieza?
like his whole body, and he's got like a final form that he turns like gold. So that's cool.
There's a final
He's
form.
black and white.
Wait, what? Oh,
No. I mean, it's really boring actually to see Frieza again.
I feel like these movies now aren't really about like pushing the boundaries of Dragon Ball Z lore. I think it's more about nostalgia at this point.
yeah.
No, like in the other, like I know you said you haven't seen the other movie, but like one of the better parts of the movie was that they had like original Dragon Ball characters in it. What picture? What was that?
Nothing.
Let me just smack the whole thing. So no one else, no, but like they have like Dragon Ball characters in it, and so it's kind of like you can tell like it's like jokes and like things about the previous show. It's not about the actual plot of the movie. It's like, hey, remember this guy? You know? So like I don't care. It's Frieza. It's Frieza. It's whatever. It's really where the show should have ended in the first place. So it's good that
I like that it's Frieza. I mean, I like it and I dislike it. I think his final form is kind of stupid. He just like it turns gold, and I guess he gets like a buff. But I liked Frieza. I felt like Frieza was one of the better villains in Dragon Ball Z. I mean, I like Cell, like Boo, but like Frieza, like seemed like a villain. Like he was just there to dominate worlds, and he was ruthless. Like Cell made it too much of a game, hence the Cell games.
Yeah.
Frieza was not fucking with any of that. Like when he started like getting fucked with by Vegeta and Goku, like he just like threw Krillin in the air and like made him explode. Like, god damn, bro, that's messed up. Like no one else was on that same page. Like Cell would like fight people, but he had that Saiyan aspect to him because I guess he had Goku and Vegeta cells in him, where it was just more if he wasn't challenged, he didn't really care about you. Where Frieza was like, I'll murder you just because. So
Yeah.
Well, that's not true. Cell like killed a whole bunch of random people just to like absorb their energy.
But that was so absorbed, and I mean in terms of like there's warriors and like actual people that could have like fought him. Like he fights Tien at one point, and like after Tien can't stop him and collapses, he could have easily killed him, but he's like, nah, I got better things to do. Or I think doesn't Piccolo show up?
Yeah, I think
either
so.
way.
Something like that.
Yeah, either way, Cell just doesn't kill people. So
But see, the thing is, I mean, Goku beat Frieza like way before that. You know, sure he had to like borrow everybody's power to do it with Spirit Bomb, but I mean, how much of a power up could he really get Frieza coming back? You know.
Well, and the same amount of power he got when he came back that other time, and then Trunks cut him
Yeah.
down in a few seconds. Like,
Exactly.
I don't know. I feel like there's just no. I don't know where there's a room for character growth in a villain that's not only died once but twice.
Actually, I think in the first movie, maybe that they kind of alluded to the fact that Beerus knew Frieza or something like that. So there's some sort of connection between them.
I would
And,
expect. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just saying that they're probably going to show some more of it in the movie or something, some sort of betrayal between them or interaction. Yeah.
I remember them mentioning that like, well, because Beerus like visited like the planet Vegeta when it was around, like, and like, oh, worship me or whatever. I don't know, but and plus, I mean, like, there's a club of like people that can destroy planets. I'm sure, like.
they probably have
just,
some secret Illuminati like hangout group where they talk about destroying planets and stuff and chaos.
Yeah.
It's a weekly brunch, you know.
Yeah. Where they just don't have pudding because. Oh, all right, John, you wouldn't get that.
No, I wouldn't.
No.
So, Andy, what's new on your front with books and?
God, what have I been reading? Well, I told Victor this today because Victor and I both like Jim Butcher, and I don't know if you know who Jim Butcher is.
Yeah, I saw you texted the group.
Jim Butcher has these novels called the Dresden Files, which is basically like Wizard PI.
Yeah,
It's not even really about that anymore, but it's like a wizard noir detective story, which is good. But he's like putting out this new steampunk thing, and like today on Amazon they listed like, oh, new releases, and they had like the first book of his books in that series like as a new release, and I was like, this is great, I'll totally spend every dime I have on this. And like, so I went to go click on it, and then it's like, oh, you should pre-order it, and I'm like, what a fucking honey dick that is. Like, or it's like it's not a new release at all. It's like, oh, we released the art.
The pre-order, yeah.
I don't know. It's
New release for pre-orders.
yeah, exactly.
And not only that, but Andy texts me knowing that I'm going to do the same thing and not find anything.
Straight up that it was a honey dick. I didn't like hide it. Like I
You're like,
told
hey,
him, like, hey,
go check this out. It's totally not true. It's not going to be out for another 10 months.
and I told you that in the text. Unless
Yeah,
you
the next one afterwards.
like, no, it was the same text. I was like, literally, it's like, hey, they put this up. but then they said then it's not actually coming out till this time, and then I guess you just were like, oh my god, it's out, and didn't read the rest of it.
Yeah, I skimmed and scammed it a little bit.
Yeah.
Scanned it. Yeah.
What else am I doing? I'm not really doing much else. I moved, like I said, so like I've been busy with that. My room is still a disaster. I'm probably gonna have my girlfriend clean it for me.
That's a little bit.
Yeah, and then
We should get a tour of the house. Tour of the house. Tour of the house. Tour of the house.
I know.
Because M and Mandy will both get mad.
They'll be like, John.
Is Cosmo still there with you?
Yeah, Cosmo's still here. We've kind of relegated him to a room of the house.
Not really relegated. He's a fucking bitch and can't climb downstairs.
Yeah, he's too small to climb stairs. He'll figure it out.
No, he's not. I've been trying to teach him. He's gonna learn.
Yeah. Oh, you want to hear
He's
some
gonna
shit?
jump.
Like, you know, everyone that has seen our stuff knows that I have a dog named Cosmo. But at the old place, I had carpets, and like, you know, once or twice, Cosmo would like, you know, have an accident just because, you know, he's a dog, and I'm at work, and I'm not there all the time. But shut up. I just so the landlord, my landlord, like calls me and he's like, "Hey, can I get into the apartment to paint it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." There's still a lot of stuff in there because, you know, I still have 2 weeks left on my lease. And he's like, "Okay, no problem." So I get a text being like, "Hey, so I put all your shit outside on the curb. We're gonna paint and then rip up all the carpets." And I'm like, "That is not what we agreed to at all." And I mean, I'm like, what am I gonna say? No, you can't like tear out my tear my shit out that you've already done. So I was like, whatever. So I went over there, picked up my shit, and then like. And it was, I don't even know how to describe it other than the fact that, like, when I went in there, it looked like someone was looking for drugs in the apartment.
They
Like,
found the bodies, Andy.
yeah.
No, we moved those way before.
Yeah, no.
But back to, like, weekly word stuff. If you guys, I don't know if you guys are reading any new comics, but I've been reading Endgame, Batman. It's one of the new 52.
Oh, right.
It's after Death of the Family. Andy, I think you read that, right? Did you?
No, I read The Court of
Owls.
I only read, like, the first volume because that's the one that came with the weird mask. So.
What is that? Is that Girl Scout cookie? Yeah, anyway. I'm
The
reading
advertised
Endgame.
for them.
Oh, the Samoas? Yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't read Death of the Family, I would definitely recommend reading that first. It's basically a square off between the Joker and Batman again, and everyone's involved. Red Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, Batman, Alfred. So it's like the whole clique's there.
Nightwing.
Hmm?
You didn't say Nightwing. Like, that's like the most popular one besides Batman.
I did say Nightwing.
You did? I wasn't listening then.
Yeah, well, that's on you. And then after Death of the Family, some time passes and stuff in between, then Endgame happens. The stuff that's going on in Endgame has been like the coolest stuff that's happened to the Joker and Batman in a really long time. And I don't like, I really have to try not to like spoil it at all because I'm not gonna go too into it. But they've done stuff with the Joker that's never been done before, and they've kind of like built on his character. So if you like the Joker, you'll love Endgame because it makes him even more badass, sinister, and just like completely like nuts. And Batman, this is the one time I've really seen Batman that's he kind of has to go and resort to things that he's never had to do before.
Somebody with a gun?
No,
I mean, not that one step too far. Then.
yeah, not that. But definitely recommend reading Endgame if you haven't. If you're looking for a good comic to read, yeah, go with that.
What are your thoughts on Jared Leto's casting for the Suicide Squad as Joker?
He's an actor, so
Yeah.
like he should be able to play the part. Looks wise, I almost feel like he has too young of a face. Like I feel like the Joker's got done like, but I mean Heath Ledger was a very young looking guy too, so makeup can obviously can fix that. I think he'll be good. I think that it'll work out. If you can get the laugh down, and if you can just get like that chaos captured into his character.
Jared Leto's like 45, like 50, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Fucking 23. He's got like angel skin.
No, yeah, it's like he has vampire disease, like where he just
Yeah,
doesn't.
exactly. Like, he looks
There's
young.
actually a deleted scene from American Psycho, I believe, where he pretty much like has the perfect Joker laugh in there. I suggest everybody looks it up. It's on YouTube, I'm sure.
Links or didn't happen.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll post it below, I guess.
but like the rest of the casting looks pretty solid. I mean, Will Smith is Deadshot. That works out because you don't really have to fucking see him unless they like make him take off his mask at some point.
Has Will Smith been anything good in like a while? Like I don't. The only thing that's coming up is like After Earth, and I know that was not good.
He did a movie with Margot Robbie recently, where they're like doing a heist or something.
Focus. Yeah. I was just about to say that's like out now or something.
Yeah.
I feel like Will Smith's just done like okay movies. They're not like bad, but it's kind of like Liam Neeson, how he's been doing like the same movie, and they're not bad. They're just not like great. I don't know. Like,
I think he recently did an interview where he pretty much said After Earth was probably his worst mistake of a film.
damn.
I love how they have to like characterize it as a film instead of being like because it's all about his kid, or it's like this is definitely my biggest mistake. Jaden Smith.
The film.
Run it, Jaden.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm interested in seeing it. I like the idea of the Suicide Squad. It's a cool concept. I would like to see kind of like how they portray Harley Quinn. So
yeah, because she's gonna play a much bigger role. Like as in the Suicide Squad, she's more of a voice as compared to like her and the Joker's relationship. Because the Joker, when he's around, normally she's kind of like submissive to him.
Yeah.
But then in a lot of the other Suicide Squad stuff, she's the Joker's almost like a third party that kind of just jumps in and causes chaos, and she's not fucking with him as much. So it'll be really interesting to see how they portray Harley Quinn, and they also need to have some backstory for her though, because
I don't think she's ever really come up other than
no, not really.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, there was that one episode of Arrow where they kind of hinted at her.
Yeah,
but that's not the same.
But that's completely separate. Yeah.
They made it clear it was her because of her voice, and she says I'm a psychologist, but yeah, you don't really see anything, and if you don't know Harley Quinn, you don't
You're like,
even know.
that's just some random chick. Yeah, I know.
And actually, the whole Suicide Squad, like, mad people don't know any of these characters.
Yeah, true.
So I'm interested to see how they're gonna make it like an origin for all of them, but still make it like a good film that has its own story and not just like some boring origin story for all the characters.
I hear that they're supposed to have like some scenes between the Joker and Hugo Strange to kind of, I guess, elaborate on whatever the reason for them breaking him out of prison is or something like that.
And see, that's another thing. Like, Hugo Strange is another character that you kind of have to know a little bit about. I mean, if they do it right, they'll hopefully get all the characters' backstories correct and portray that, or get that across the viewers. But I'm worried that some characters are going to get diluted, or just people are just not going to know who the fuck they are. They're going to be like, yeah, remember the doctor guy that the Joker was talking to? It's like, no, like, Hugo Strange is such a huge part.
Avengers are the same way. It's like, who's the big green dude? Like, I remember bringing, like, I went with my dad to see Avengers, and he has no, like, he's not into comics or anything, and so he's like, oh, I guess the guy in the suit's Iron Man, right? And I'm like, oh my god, I love my dad. Like, I would not want to portray it, and I'm not that nerd guy that's like, oh my god, you mouth breathing son of a bitch. But I was just like, yeah, that's Iron Man, Dad. And he's like, oh, what about that one? That guy's cool. And I'm like, yeah, he's the Hulk. He's like, yeah, that guy's cool. Like, I'm like, I don't know.
It's like, listen to the dialogue.
I mean,
I
feel like the Avengers are a little bit more well known. Like, if you went up to a random person that didn't know comic books at all, and you were like, oh, do you know the Avengers? They'd be like, oh yeah, like I saw the movie last, blah blah blah. And then you say like, hey, do you know the Suicide Squad? They'd be like, and it was the same thing with Guardian of the Galaxies. Or Galaxy, where like it was a band of people that like no one actually knew, but they did a good job of getting all the characters across. I'm sure if you went up to anybody and asked them if they know about Star-Lord and Nova's relationship, they wouldn't. But that's besides the point. I'm hoping that this just informs and educates people about all the expanded stuff in comics. I mean, it's a double-edged sword for me. Like, part of me gets so mad because I'm like, oh, they're like ruining certain things or certain aspects of characters. But then the other part, I'm like, you know what? These stories and characters are getting more recognition, so that's cool.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with them casting Jason Momoa as Aquaman, you know. I mean, we all know him from different things, and so we're kind of going to get the same feel from him as, like, Drogo or whatever his name was, you know, Game of Thrones. So we'll see how they take it. You know, I trust, you know, the DC cinematic universe with what they're doing.
I think that's awesome as Aquaman because I feel like Aquaman's gotten such a shit rep over the last few years, and even with the reboot of 52, when they make him a badass, some people like or people that don't read comics like still bash Aquaman.
Yeah.
And it'll be really nice to see like this badass like tribal dude just fucking shit up.
Yeah, I have a character that really likes Aquaman, and he's like so against this change. He's like, Aquaman is blonde, and he has an orange suit. I'm like, dude, get with the times, like.
Yeah, and I mean it's a movie adaptation. Like certain comic book things just don't work. Like even like Batman's original suit, like it doesn't look as good as like a military type getup.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want him in like just like tights, like.
And nipple armor.
Yeah,
that, right?
No one does that.
Yeah.
That looked great.
But yeah, overall, I think that a lot of these adaptations and a lot of the movies that are being worked on are going to come out looking really good. I mean, Avengers 2 is right around the corner, so.
Yeah, May 1st.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
look forward to the review.
Yeah, definitely gonna have to review that. Let's talk about games for 2015 because I feel like there's a lot of things coming out that like we can't wait for.
Bloodborne.
Yeah, Bloodborne's at the end of the month. That's right around. It's at the 24th.
Yeah, 24th.
I'm gonna end up playing that for like 5 minutes and then hating my life and uninstalling it. But you know, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
I actually haven't beat my latest run of Dark Souls 2 yet. It's just too much of a chore at this point.
I feel like it just takes a certain type of gamer. Like, I don't have it in me.
Yeah. I think Will is actually doing it right now on Twitch.
Oh yeah, he is. I saw that. It's one of our friends. Is twitching, and we'll try to get the link in there. He's playing a playthrough. He's never actually played it, so I'm sure it'll be enjoyable to watch. I mean, I had friends that were really into it, and they like kind of walked me through it. But it's I don't know. It's like when I get killed by a skeleton, and I'm just like really like.
I mean, but that's what you kind of love about it, that anything can kill you, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like one of those like those old side-scrolling games where it's like you mess up because you're going too fast and you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh, I'm just jumping over the things and then I hit the Koopa. Like.
It's actually a good way to look at it because I never really thought about it. Like Mario, you don't really get mad at the Koopas for killing you. You kind of just like, you know what, I was an asshole, or I should have been more careful. Whereas Dark Souls, I'm like, no, that skeleton was a dick. You shouldn't have been there.
I was this close.
Yeah. But, I mean, Batman's a big one for me, to be honest.
I haven't really been following video games lately. I mean, is there a Halo coming out? I assume there's a Halo coming out. I'll play that.
Yeah. Well, the beta for Halo was awesome. Can I talk about, speaking of games that just came out, I've been playing Battlefield Hardline. Yo, I cannot deal with like I didn't like the alpha, and I was like, you know what? Let me give the beta a try. I played the beta, and I was like, it's a little bit better. but I still don't like this game. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give the actual game a try. And I was playing the actual game last night, and I'm just like, this game is not good.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, I can go into a whole detailed thing about like the different parts that I don't like how the weapons just, I don't know what they did to them. I remember in Battlefield 4, you get like the M4A4 in the beginning, and it's actually a like pretty good gun that obviously you don't want to continue using, but you can go back to it and still use it as good. The gun you start off with in Battlefield as an operator for Hardline, it's literally the worst gun I've ever used in video games. It's like, it's got a recoil pattern that reminds me of the AK on Counter-Strike. Like, I don't understand what they did with that. But overall, the game modes aren't that great. I'm not trying to completely bash this game, and maybe it's not for me, but I've been playing this game, and it is just not, like, a good game in my opinion. Like, I'm not happy with the $60 price point. And then on top of that, the $50 season pass, which is, yeah.
It's not high.
Can we talk about the season pass thing? I understand the gaming industry needs to do that. Like, they need to make their money back, and they're putting millions into making these games, but, like, I feel like anything over $25 is actually a little bit ridiculous.
I mean, especially when it comes to just maps and stuff, pretty much.
I feel like you can put any kind of price tag you want on it as long as the content justifies the price.
But that's the problem. Like, the Battlefield Hardline content, it's the 4 maps. You get customization for your guns, customization for your ammo, these masks, a tournament mode that you can do for competitive play, and they give you 12 gold battle packs, all this other stuff. And a lot of the content is stuff that they can just either give you, or it's not real like great content. They just do a bunch of the stuff in. Like there shouldn't be. I shouldn't have to pay $50 to be able to play a competitive tournament style mode. Like, if I'm a competitive gamer, why should I have to pay $50 just to have to show up? And I understand, like, if I was to go into, like, a competitive circuit, like, you probably pay an entrance fee. But there's no, like, return on investment, or at least some guaranteed return on investment when you buy the season pass.
Well, there was, I don't know, this is an older example, but, like, Dragon Age Origins originally came out, and that's, like, an RPG. It's like, 80 to 100 hours. And then, like, later on they came out with a DLC that was, like, $40. It was, like, Dragon Age Awakening. But it was still, like, another 20 hours of game for, like, $40. So, like, it wasn't, like, you're getting, like, cosmetic stuff or anything. It's a whole other game for $40.
They are supposed to come out with more story-based stuff for Battlefield as well, like co-op stuff. And I guess for some people that'll be worth it. But for Battlefield, it's like you're gonna give me all of maybe 3 hours of gameplay, and if anything, I'm not playing the single player. Most people that bought Battlefield aren't buying it for the single player.
See, I would be interested in doing that is if they were like they kind of crossed it with like I'm trying to think of the right. Like, they made it, like, a story where it's, like, I know it's, like, cops and, like, robbers kind of thing in Hardline, so it's, like, oh, yeah, you were, like, driving down the street, and then, like, this guy tried to, rob a liquor store, and then, like, just free-for-all broke loose. Like, everybody showed up with, like, they made it, like, completely zany and crazy.
So, basically, GTA 5.
Yeah, GTA 5, where, like, all of a sudden, everyone just pulls out their guns, and it's the Wild West in the middle of San Andreas. Like,
so
Red Dead Redemption, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like, I just can't imagine being like, hey, yeah, this regular old, like, or like they pull somebody over and then it just becomes this massive shootout, like, just something ridiculous. Like, I don't think there's like a story there.
It's not that great of a game overall.
Me and Andy are gonna play this maybe Friday night. We'll do like a Twitch stream for like 30 minutes or so, and we'll actually do the single player, and we'll give our feedback on that. Andy, I just signed you up for that, by the way.
Okay.
I'm not doing anything Friday.
BYOB, Andy.
Yeah, right.
But, I mean, the only reason to really stick with Battlefield at this point is for their Battlefront, Star Wars.
That's honestly the be-all, end-all for me. And it's DICE again, which is like, I love
Yeah.
DICE. I think they've done a great job with the Battlefield series. Um, and I've heard some stuff about people getting to see some gameplay, and it looks incredible.
Mhm.
So I am super excited for that.
Okay.
Maybe. How are you not you're not excited to just go out on the Battlefield
know
as a six?
I played a lot of Battlefront. I played a lot of Battlefront 2, but I played it on like consoles. I played it on like the PlayStation, or actually no, just the PlayStation 2, and like I think the Xbox, the original one.
Yeah.
But I got it for the PC recently, and then I guess I didn't really read this or something, but it's like it went from like third person to first person, and I realized, wow, I like this game a lot more as a third person shooter than a first person shooter.
Right.
That being said, I feel like if it were to come out now, it would be a first-person shooter, which I'm like, on. I mean, like, I'll play it, but, like, I don't know. I kind of liked it.
I kind of agree that it almost works better as a third-person shooter or whatever else, because you do use like Jedi's and Siths or whatnot.
Mhm.
But I really do have the utmost faith in DICE. Like, they've gone out and said, like, we know we cannot fuck this up. Like, when you have a studio telling you, like, as a fan, like, yeah, like, we know that we can't mess it up, that's somewhat reassuring. It's kind of like with Batman. They're like, we know exactly what we've gotten into, and we understand there's no room for mistakes. So,
But I didn't like Batman either, so, like, I mean, like, that's a perfect...
what didn't you like?
I mean, I just didn't enjoy it.
But see, here's the thing. I mean,
No, to be fair, I only played the first one, and then never played
Oh, that's exact. Yeah, the first one was good, but it wasn't. That was just a taste of like the greatness that came after that.
I guess it'd be like...
they mess with the mechanics later on.
And then just never played Assassin's Creed 2. It's probably, like, similar.
Wait, you only played Assassin's Creed 1?
No, I'm saying, like, it's, my story, like, my example probably is, like, the people that only played Assassin's Creed 1 and never tried 2 or Brotherhood, or maybe just played Revelations because you hate yourself. Like,
Victor, what were you gonna say?
I forget. Basically, they're still going to have the movies going on in tandem with the release of, the new Battlefronts. So maybe that'll gear more of an audience towards it.
Yeah, I
It'll put
definitely.
them more.
are they done shooting them, or do they only shoot one?
I think they're done shooting it, but they're still editing it and everything.
Okay, because I was gonna say, man, like, I'm convinced Harrison Ford is trying to kill himself before, like, the movies are shot, because, like, first he breaks his leg and he's like, oh, they'll definitely replace me. They'll kill me off in this movie, so I don't have to fucking do this anymore. He's like, all right, I'm just gonna have to go full on and just crash my plane, like,
On a golf course.
on a golf course. I know, like, I don't know, the guy.
That rumor of like potentially killing him off. I mean, they're not like locked into the
Expanded universe.
expanded universe. They can kind of just do whatever they want. I mean, Han Solo's character is like a
Iconic.
big part, so it'll be hard to do
But
something like that. But
They're already kind of like in the danger zone with the movies with me when they put on like the guy from Girls in the movie. I'm a little cautious. I'm ready to be disappointed. It's, you know what it is? It's like, you have that first love, and at first it's great, it's amazing, but then you break up because you both go to college. But then like you're like back for like spring break or summer vacation, and you see her, and she looks great. She looks way better than she did in high school. But there's something different.
it's not
there's
the core
different.
values. It's
It's
not
the
there.
cocaine, it's the partying, it's being railed by the rugby team, and it just isn't the same. And then, like, at the end, you're just like, why are we even doing this anymore? And it's like, but then, like, you go back to college, and then you meet each other, like, years and years later. You're divorced, she's divorced,
You
and,
get
like,
right back on the horse.
again. Yeah.
Good comparison. I like that.
I mean, it's basically our
well-
generation's new trilogy. I mean, we had 1, 2, and 3 before, and the previous generation had 4, 5, and 6. It's the exact same thing. They couldn't trust it, and yeah, the new ones, they suck compared to the old ones, honestly.
I think
Because of, like, the fact that those other movies existed before it, like, would they have been good without the three other, like, if, like, you didn't have A New Hope to, like, Return of the Jedi, if those three movies would have been like, oh, these are pretty good?
Yeah.
Or would they be like, no, these are just universally shitty?
I mean, they're basically universally
I think that they would have. I think 1 and 2. I mean, 1 and 3. People would have been like, no, they were good movies. I think 2 he would have been like, "Yo, what? I didn't know that I was seeing a romantic comedy." Like,
Well, it's romantic comedy in that like it's like a cross between American Psycho and like
Yeah.
Never Been
yeah,
Kissed.
when he
Like,
goes just starts murdering kids.
yeah, well, he's murdering children, or well, no, he's murdering like Tuscans,
Yeah,
and
the Tusken Raiders and everyone that was there. Like, there was kids there, not just
Yeah.
the men, but the women and the children.
yeah, and it's like I love him. What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, bro, you just murdered like everyone. Like,
Yeah.
I get
And
your
then
mom
Sasuke
died.
and Sakura, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like honestly, weirdly enough, I actually my brother. I have a brother that's 9, and we recently started watching the Star Wars movies together. And I made it a point that we were going to watch it. I don't know. Do you guys know Machete Style? Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, where they, I forgot the order, but they change up the order of how you watch it. Yeah.
It goes like this. It goes New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi.
Right.
So you totally cut out Phantom Menace because who gives a shit about Phantom Menace?
So, honestly, okay, I'm going to go on record to say that I enjoyed Phantom Menace probably the most out of all of the movies, to be completely
Really?
honest.
You basically watched a Star Trek movie in Star Wars because it's all about politics and like.
Yeah. That aspect bothered me, but the biggest thing, like, I think that Darth Maul was one of the best Star Wars villains because he was on some, like, I'm just following orders and fucking shit up. Like, I don't talk.
Shine. Like, you thought he was going to be this. Like, I remember the previews. I remember seeing the previews for Episode 1 and being like, Darth Maul is going to fucking kick so much ass. And he moved for like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I
Jar
mean,
Jar
the
Binks
fight
comes
scenes
in.
were- Yeah, you know, I think if I rewatched Star Wars Phantom Menace, I'd probably want to just fast forward to the fight scene at the end and then be like, well, you know what? Maybe I only like the fight scene at the end. But
Here's what you're also forgetting is that the fight scene at the end is also intermixed with Anakin flying that like weird yellow spacecraft and him being like, I'm a 5-year-old like ace pilot. Like that. There's that part.
so
There's the
why
gun.
did anybody think that was okay? I'm sorry. If, like, even if we had someone that was like 8 years old and could fly like a fighter jet, do you think that the government, like the commanding officer on base, would be like, you know what? Put that kid in a ship. He's gonna save the day.
They don't care. I mean, he can barely look over.
Right? Like he ends up in it like by accident because he's hiding.
Yeah, he's hiding, and then he just like.
Who
starts
hides in a
flying.
spaceship? Who hides in a trash can? Like I don't know, whatever.
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I want to go on record to say I don't think I like Phantom Menace as much as I thought I did, and I really just like the fight scene at the end of the movie.
That's the thing. Like, or I was watching like this like top 10 fight scenes in movies, and then that was their top fight scene, and I'm like,
The guy that plays
that is the one scene.
Darth Maul, I forgot his name. He's an incredible.
No, he's awesome. Yeah, no, I know he does a lot of great stuff. He was actually in Heroes, and he was like the good part, like the only good part of season 4 of Heroes before like, you know, with the evil circus or whatever. Like,
got up to season 4 of Heroes.
yeah,
I finished it as well. It was awful.
3 episodes before the end.
I got up to season 2 halfway through, and I was like, "This is shit." They should have made Heroes, like the first Heroes, into a movie and then been done with it.
Well, you know
Can we
what?
all agree that Hayden Panettiere was the worst?
Oh yeah, no, she wasn't. But
Yeah.
this is the thing, like, the Heroes suffered from the writer's strike. Like,
Yeah,
right
Yeah.
middle of season 2, the writer's strike happened, and it's like all of a sudden they're like, we need to come up with a story. Fuck the whole plot that we've been building up to, because the beginning of season 2 is actually pretty good with like Peter Petrelli like jumping forward in time and being like something's happening,
Yeah.
and then like there was this girl that never came back. Like he's like, I'm gonna come back for you, and then you just never did. And then like I don't know, somebody became president. I don't know. Like
oh yeah, God, it's all coming back to me. And then
Brother, I think?
the dude that
his
could.
brother became president, but no. Actually, it wasn't his brother. It was his other brother,
Oh, yeah.
Zachary Quinto, that was then morphed into the other brother that I think he killed. I don't remember. But like seriously, that shit happened. Like that. Like what? Like who thinks that? Like that. I don't know.
Or how about the Doctor's metamorphosis? You know, that was uncalled for completely. He's like making cocoons everywhere.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like we could talk for a while about shows that just like really just did not, or like movies and shows that just did not fulfill on a promise that they made.
Next week, that's our topic. Movies and shows that left you with blue balls.
All of them.
Firefly. There you go. The list is done. It's Firefly. Everyone can go home.
Yeah. Firefly was good though.
Yeah, it was.
Next week we'll talk about that.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go.
I gotta be a person like Andy was saying. We'll try to. I think we're gonna be able to get Reed and maybe Matt next week. So thank you for everyone that tuned in. We're definitely gonna be doing a lot more stuff in the coming weeks, months, years. So stick with us. Victor, we have a giveaway coming up soon, right? We're gonna do something.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll post some stuff about it on the Facebook page soon, and hopefully in the next week.
Facebook page? Follow us on Facebook at Naruto Fan FB, and subscribe to our channel.
All right, I'm gonna go. You have a good night, guys.
All right.
See you
later.
Now we have 4 viewers. I love it.
Wait, we have viewers?
Yeah. What? Oh, you guys you can't see that?
No.
Oh, I can. Anyway, next week. Actually, no. Probably Friday we're gonna do Battlefield. I'm gonna make Andy do Battlefield. And check the page for the other content that we're doing. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you Friday or next week.
All right.